Okay,
All right.
okay.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to the bars. Oh, shit. I just said it again. Welcome back, everybody, to the Barbells and Trails podcast,
Dude, you
episode
need to get better at it.
69. I don't know. Okay, we're rolling with that. That's the intro. This is
shit.
terrible. I've messed up the intro now twice. I don't know
More like
how.
4 times. But...
No. If you guys didn't notice on the Halloween episode, I said bars or bar and bells podcast instead of Barbells and Trails podcast. Okay. And so here we're back.
Hi.
We technically did not post an episode last week. We did post the live stream on Spotify. Yeah. So if you guys weren't aware,
if you guys got bored of us, you can just watch that.
Yeah, I mean, there's 4 hours of a bunch of stuff that happened.
Yeah.
So that's actually going to be the first thing we talk about today is the live stream. If you guys weren't aware or did not watch, we did a live stream now.
Wait.
It was only last Friday, actually.
Yeah, it was.
For some reason, it feels like it's been longer. But no, it was last Friday.
Yeah, you're right.
On the 3rd of November. And I think it was
fun.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. So a lot happened that night. We ended up having some technical difficulties at the start. So if anybody did try to tune in, that's why. And that's why there was technically 2 live streams. Yeah. First time doing it, we probably should have ran a more thorough test beforehand. Right. But we had already set a time. And by the time everybody was here, it was kind of too late to run a live stream test. So we just kind of rolled with it. We were able to fix the issues for the most part on the job. Yeah. But we were having internet connection issues. So let's just say we ended up plugging in an Ethernet cable. And once we did that, we had to cancel the original stream. So that was disappointing. I feel like we actually would have had a lot more viewers during the stream.
Maybe. Well, we'll live and learn. So
yeah. I mean, it was the first one, but a lot of things happened. I mean, we ended up technically doing the live stream. At least the stream that was successful for about 4 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So a total technically of almost 4.5 to 4 hours and 45 minutes of live stream.
It was fun though.
It was a fun
There
late
was a
night.
lot of stuff going on, but
there was so much happening. Very chaotic. We had 3 guests. We did introduce them. Those are all people that we actually want to come on as just guests on their own here eventually. I think we both can agree on that one.
Oh, yeah.
I guess now I have to ask, who is your favorite person that showed up? I'm throwing you under the bus.
I don't know. I don't want to just say somebody out. And should I go on the safe side or should I go with my gut?
Oh, go with your gut. Go with
safe
your gut.
side, saying Josh so I don't get beat up.
Nah, he won't beat you up.
I don't know. I like really all of them. Brian's great. Josh was hilarious.
I mean, this was like, you've been around them. You've hung out with them. They've been over before. Yeah. But I guess technically this would have been the most intimate setting.
I know Freddie more. So
yeah, definitely Freddie the most. Yeah. Yeah, these are all people that we've wanted to have on, and it was very chaotic. So if there was any audio issues with microphones and everything, we apologize. We had 5 people, 4 mics, 2 people that's never done anything like this before. I think Freddie handled it the best. I mean, considering 2 of them were 20 to 30 years older than me, alone, that just gives them a little more wiggle room on how well they did, I feel like. But in general, it was a lot of fun, let alone the drinking between those 2 in particular compared to the rest of us. Obviously, you did not drink, but they were on a level farther than me, for sure. I mean, it was fun. It was technically the first time I think I'd ever drank while recording on here, so it was fun.
Oh, yeah, you did. That's true.
Yeah. We definitely had a few mishaps.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I spilled a few drinks.
Yeah, you did.
I spilled Freddie's beer. It was bad.
Yeah, it did kind of smell like beer. Your seat might smell like beer right now still.
It was on the floor.
I might have spilled some beer the next day cleaning up.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you guys didn't know, we did the live stream basically to celebrate hitting 100 subscribers. Mm-hmm. We crossed that marker. and we've actually blown that.
122 now.
Yeah,
so.
we've blown that out of the water. We technically lost one. We're at 123, so someone unsubbed, but hey, that's okay. That's not bad. We still basically have gotten 30 subscribers in the past 30 days. So thank you for everybody that has subscribed here recently. If you are watching, just want to say thank you, and we appreciate it. And I mean, if you guys are enjoying the podcast, if you're enjoying anything, like tell your friends, just share it. I mean, we appreciate anybody that possibly tunes in, even for one episode or another, or even our shorts. Like especially the people that might be watching this is just followed off the shorts. Welcome.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of crazy. I mean, the night of the live stream, we gained 6 subscribers during the stream alone.
Mm-hmm.
So that was crazy to watch. I mean, we had a guy that was watching from California.
What was his name?
Jaw.
Yeah,
J-A-H.
No,
J-A-H.
Yep.
If you do watch this, because
What's
this
up,
might
Jaw?
be the first podcast that
Yeah.
he might actually see since the live stream, welcome. It was actually really cool to have you on, and I like that you were willing to ask some questions and actually comment and do stuff in the chat, so that was really cool.
It was fun.
It was fun kind of being able to react to things.
It's fun to interact with people.
Yeah.
While just recording too. So.
Yeah, I have to admit, I think me and Riley talked about this like afterwards and obviously off camera. I think we both want to do live streams more.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I think something that might involve 5-6 people, we might wait to do for like a big milestone, maybe hitting like 500 subscribers, like crossing that, or even 1,000, depending, and get like a bunch of the guys together. But I think that there's a likelihood that we might start doing, we haven't necessarily talked about it yet, but maybe do like a live stream, maybe once a month or once every other month, where it might just even be us, or even maybe have one guest come in, and make it a little more manageable, maybe not quite as chaotic. Maybe actually come up with like a plan on what we're going to do during the live stream, and maybe not quite as long. Like maybe we make it like if we do 3 hours, we limit it to 3 and kind of call it. But you know, we were just kind of rolling with it. I mean, we did have a few critiques, I have to admit, from a handful of people.
Oh really?
Yeah, I mean, nothing major. Some of it was even off of Brian, because I was just like, hey, like, what did you think of everything? Like, he's never done anything like this. This guy's barely used social media.
Actually, no, I'm interested. What did he say?
Well, I mean, it wasn't much. I mean, he said he liked it. It definitely took him a minute to understand. Same with Josh, I think, to kind of understand what the dynamic was going to be and how this was going to work. Like, I think they were also like, oh, this is going to be really cramped. We got a lot of people.
Actually, it was kind of spacious on this.
I wasn't sure how we were gonna like roll with it. It ended up working out, I think, a lot better than I think everybody realized.
I was surprised. I still had room when you were sitting by me, and there's 2 other people.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, everybody had fun. Like,
I think so.
They were all like, I would be down to do that again. I actually liked it.
Yeah,
and so I think it'll be fun, because that means I think doing that, it would be easier to get them on for a regular episode, let alone if we do, let's say, another live stream sometime. Even if we just have like one of them,
we should get them on. If it was just a special guest.
And I do like the part of like doing a live stream where it's like you can't necessarily do this on a live, like with a podcast, to be able to like react to possible like I wouldn't say fans, but like subscribers, and if they ask questions or whatever, they like it's it's an easier way to get to know somebody. I feel like a little differently. So I feel like I feel like we should try doing that more often.
I think we should.
Because, I mean, in the end, even if it's just us, it's not super complicated to do. Okay. And we could do it reasonably easy.
And it's just 2 of us. Probably won't be, like, technically as long. But
no, yeah. It's like if we do one.
We still have fun.
It's like, okay, if we say we do one every first Saturday of the month or something, it's like that's pretty reasonable. Yeah. And someone can prepare for it, and we can do that, and it's not anything too crazy. It's not like we're doing it every day or something. Yeah. Be like, we do 1 hour live stream daily.
That'd be
a lot.
That would be a lot.
But no, the main critique I think we had was from people I know that watched, and people that were a part of it was. They were like, it was very unstructured. Like, it didn't seem like you guys necessarily knew what you were doing in certain aspects. And I'm like, well, yes. I mean, that was kind of the whole point. I mean,
I feel like every first interaction with a group of people kind of is chaotic at first.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
part of it was,
I had a blast, and yes, we really didn't have a structure, but we read a bunch of cards. I think
And that helped.
I think
It
everybody
kept-
did. I
kept
think
the
everybody
flow.
got closer with each other.
Oh, definitely.
So
Yeah, I would agree to that for sure. I mean, I think part of it was like we definitely could have planned out more things to talk about, more things to do, but honestly, I just kind of wanted to see how it went. I was like, we've never done this before, so especially with them not ever doing a podcast before or whatever, it would have been a lot harder to, I feel like, try to almost take charge in a way and lead it a certain direction instead of just kind of saying, hey, let's just see where this goes.
yeah.
And that's why I was like, here's a few things. We'll maybe do this. Other than that, let's just see what happens. Like, and so that's why. So I understand that. So maybe next time, obviously, we can do that a little more, even if we do a milestone kind of thing where it is a little more chaotic with more people or whatever. We can still kind of have, I guess, more of a roadmap to be like, hey, like, we're gonna stream for this long. It's in the middle of the day, maybe on like a Saturday.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, let's actually plan like things to do maybe every hour. Like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing.
I mean, we did plan a little bit. Like, we did the ramen. What else did we do?
Yeah. Speaking of, if you guys didn't see, obviously because there's 4 hours of footage,
Yeah.
it might be hard to find. Eventually, we will break it down. We're gonna have shorts out. We're gonna possibly have like videos. We're gonna probably post on the Clips channel. If you guys are unaware, more often here in the next couple months, month or two.
Yeah.
We're gonna start doing that again, and kind of revive that. So if you guys don't want to watch the whole episodes or the whole live stream, we'll probably have like 5 to 12 minute like videos on there that's a little more broken down and digestible. So I guess, so if you guys don't know, here's the context. We did the live stream. One of the things we wanted to do, and something I've wanted to do in general for a while, I've had these for a minute, was even possibly with a guest on the stream, or on the podcast. And it was to basically eat some of the world's spiciest ramen noodles from South Korea. I've done it before. I've done it with Noah. Technically, you, I think,
Noah.
Tried it. You're not Noah, but I did it with your brother. Yeah, you're not Noah. That's Riley. And it's hot.
Honestly, well, the thing is, like, it was hot, but mine wasn't like so insane. I was like freaking out when I got to the hot sauce. That's when it pushed me over the limit.
So basically, we tried doing it where we made like a limit and made it like a challenge in a way where it's like, okay, here's your ramen. I'm gonna go prepare it. We'll have, once it's done, we'll all start eating, and we basically have, we said 7 minutes to do so. Honestly, that might have been a little short. We maybe should have done like 10.
Yeah.
But basically 10 minutes of eating the ramen, finishing the ramen, and also in that time frame not drinking water or milk or anything to assist us through the process.
Yeah.
Freddie just kind of gave up. Like he ate it before we even said go, and then after that I think he had like one bite.
Yeah, well, he says like, yeah, if I try something I don't like, I'm just not gonna eat it. That's what
And
he
I'm like,
said.
well, that's boring.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I've seen how you drink. Like, drinking's not tasty, but you go for it. Like, I kind of want to be like, come on, dude. And then you maybe ate. I don't even know if you got to halfway.
I might have got it halfway. I was eating like little bites like every minute.
Yeah.
So
and
I might have ate like 8 or 9. Just like at least bites. They weren't like tiny bites, but they were just
and
so.
and then I was trying. Like I was
trying, but I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, it wasn't fun.
Because,
it really
well,
wasn't.
The first thing is my lips just started burning because I got it all on my lips.
Oh yeah, it's
like,
almost impossible not to.
Yeah.
But it was not fun, and I think that was one thing I underestimated. Was like, it's one thing to eat something spicy, but to also keep eating. That was the challenge. Like, and technically I did it. I think we lengthened the time limit by a minute just so one of us was able to finish. But that was also where, to a certain point, I realized I'm the only one really doing this. If we all don't finish it, that also sucks. So I had to kind of put the burners on myself and just say, I guess I'm doing this, so at least someone gets it down in the time frame. And basically, if you didn't, you had to do 2 shots or eat hot sauce, which we ended up using the last dab from Hot Ones. And so I was the only one that finished, so I was fine. I could drink milk, I could drink water, and move on. Freddie took 2 shots, and Riley had to eat the last dab.
It was so bad.
Yeah, how was that?
It was so bad.
Yeah.
I literally ran to your sink to like try to get some water off, like on my tongue to get the spice off, but
It didn't work.
not really. I was in there for like a good 10 minutes.
I don't feel like it was that long, but you were in there.
I was
Like
in there
I
for
thought
a
you were
while.
gonna puke. I was like, oh,
No.
well, this might not be good.
Spicy doesn't really make me puke. I mean, I got heartburn.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
basically it.
Well, so I don't know if you guys know this. I actually did that with Bailey before. We did
What?
the cards, and we also ate the hot sauce. I had it twice. Bailey had it, I think, once, and it's rough. It really is.
rough.
It's not an easy matter. I mean, if anybody's ever watched Hot Ones, you know it's the hottest spice they have,
Yeah.
and it's pretty rough. But
Yes.
we
Was Bailey okay with it?
made it through it. I mean, she doesn't handle spice the best, so I actually had to cut part of the podcast out because I had to go leave and get her milk because we weren't necessarily prepared beforehand, and she was dying, and I'm like, calm down. I was like she wasn't handling it very well, but so that made it interesting. I mean, I'm trying to think what all else we did. I mean, there was just so much that happened.
It really was.
It's hard to remember it all because there's so many little things, and like there's parts I thought was earlier in the night
we
and
ate
ended up being
pizza on the
later.
stream. They drank during the stream.
Yeah, it was.
so much.
Josh was wearing sunglasses the whole time, talking to the
I
camera on
actually
his
took
own.
mine off, and then I was like, "Oh, dang it!"
Really?
Yeah, because when I went to your sink, I took them off so they wouldn't fall in your sink. Of
Oh.
course, but it's whatever.
Yeah, no, Josh was. I don't know if you knew this or realized. I just saw it watching the stream back slightly. There was times that Josh was over there, we're talking, and then he himself is looking at the camera and just talking in the mic and just talking about his own thing, not paying attention to whatever's happening with us, and so that was pretty interesting. So I'm curious to kind of watch some of it back
That's
because
funny.
just at one point just to kind of remember because it was such a chaotic night.
It
With
was.
everything.
It was a good 4 hours though.
Oh, it was, yeah, it was a lot of fun. It ended up being a later night than I was expecting.
Yeah, I think
I think we all were kind of like, it's not what we expected, but we were all kind of okay with it because
Yeah,
it
we're
just
like,
kind of
well,
we kind of rolled with it.
That was something.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Yeah,
sometime.
right? Yeah. So I can't wait. I mean, I've already told a few of them that we want them on like solo just to
Mhm.
kind of
Oh,
see
yeah.
how that goes. And
Are they all
And-
down for that?
yeah, I mean, I believe so. I mean,
So,
let's just say with all that, we will be posting shorts of everything. Some of this might be posted here like this week, next week. Like there's so
Mhm.
much, it's probably going to be spread out because
yeah.
I mean, there's 4 hours of footage to go through, and so we might still be posting some of the live stream shorts by the time the new year hits. Like who knows?
Yeah.
Because we might have so many. But it was just a lot of fun. It was a chaotic evening, and I can't wait to kind of do it again or do a
Mhm.
live stream. I mean, we even talked about ways to do it where maybe next time we don't necessarily do it in the studio and we have like lav mics, and we maybe do it in the living room where it's a little more sociable in the sense where you're kind of sitting in a circle, sort of. It's not as tight. We can all look at the TV and have the camera there and make it a little easier where no one's having to hold microphones and stuff like that. So there's a few things we want to possibly do in the future to make it easier, I guess,
Yeah.
to do it again. But yeah, we'll kind of see how that goes. I mean, there's a lot. There's definitely a lot to do, but
Yeah, there is.
let's see, what else do we have for today to talk about? Oh, well, I mean, I guess we can kind of get into the news a little bit.
Oh,
I haven't done news in a while
You
on
have
here.
it.
It's been
You
a
know
minute.
what? I'm intrigued. Tell me the news of the world.
Okay. Un momento, por
It's
favor.
different now. You have to hold the mic in your computer.
I mean, sort of. I don't have to. I don't have to hold very long. It's nice that my computer's touchscreen too.
Oh, is it?
Why is it so far scrolled down? Okay. So what is happening in the news? So we're doing Ride the News from Instagram. I love their stuff between them or
Never heard of him.
oh yeah, I like them. They're almost a non-biased news source. So every once in a while they just end up on stuff
Okay.
for on Instagram, so I'll see stuff. Okay, so one thing that is happening that's popped up in the past couple days. Omegle is officially possibly shutting down.
Really?
Yeah, started in 2009. The chat app paired other users with anonymous strangers. Originally popular a decade ago, social media trends led to the app to experience a resurgence in recent years. But they came under heavy criticism, allowing sex predators to harass users, including children. In February, the BBC reported that there had been 50 lawsuits related to Omegle since 2021.
Are you serious?
On Thursday, its founder announced Omegle will shut down over the backlash. He said running it had become too much of a financially and psychologically. Makes sense. I mean, I've used it before. Have you ever been on Omegle?
Like a few times, but like really, like I never got anywhere. So.
Yeah, I mean it's been a while, but the amount of bots and the random things you see, I saw understand.
Some weird stuff.
Yes, yes.
So
yeah, the amount of penises you might come across on that website is a lot.
Yep.
So I understand them possibly closing it down. I mean it doesn't surprise me at all. The actors' strike in Hollywood is officially over. Hollywood actors struck a deal with film studios to end the 4-month strike. In July, the union representing over 160,000 plus actors called a strike to demand higher wages, benefits, and protection against AI. AMPTP, which represents studios, said its members could not afford those terms. The strike coincided with a screenwriter strike, which ended in September with a new labor deal. On Wednesday, the SAG, AFTRA, and whatever, all the different acronyms, struck a deal with both sides, called for favorable for actors, and the deal means Hollywood will resume work. So I guess we might finally see new movies eventually. Hopefully the last Avatar movie is not put off till 2035 or whatever.
Oh my goodness.
That would piss me off.
That's only like a year and a month away.
2035? That's.
Oh, I thought you said 2025. Okay.
Oh yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, that would be a while.
That would be a while. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that'd be ridiculous to finally have that movie out. Humanitarian pauses in Gaza. Israel will hold a daily 4-hour humanitarian pause to enable citizens to flee heavy fighting areas. Israel has reportedly denied calls for a ceasefire in Gaza. For weeks, the Biden administration has pressured Israel to enact humanitarian pauses or brief pauses in fighting to allow civilians to flee and potentially allow Hamas to release hostages. Thursday, Israel began implementing the daily 4-hour pause with 3 hours advance warnings. It also opened a second evacuation route for civilians to flee south. It's taken a little longer than I hoped, President Biden says, of Israel's implementation of the pauses. The whole situation there, I mean, at one point, I don't think it matters which side you're on, pro-Israel or Palestine. It's ridiculous. It really is. I mean, the amount of civilians that are dying. I mean, obviously Hamas.
Yeah, that was
it. They started it. I'll be honest. I didn't realize, because I don't pay attention to the news super, super often because I just hate news sources. I mean, they're bought out, and that's undeniable. But I didn't realize it started from a terrorist attack. Mm-hmm. The 1,400 plus civilians got killed in Israel. Yeah. I mean, damn near or just about the same amount as 9/11. It was the worst terror attack since 9/11. So I do understand, obviously, the hostility, and I'm not saying that everything that happens over there is fully justified, but I mean, it's war. It's not. Yeah. It's not clean, and it never has been, never will be. It sucks that it's in, I mean, major city centers. That's the biggest thing.
It's just sad.
It is. I mean,
and
it's terrible. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, there is things Israel can do to prevent civilian casualties, but I mean, at the same time, when Hamas is hiding and you're trying to find 30,000 soldiers, spread out in this area. I mean, it's not an easy situation to be involved in. It really isn't.
It isn't.
And it's like I'm not gonna get onto it when it comes to political debate either way, because it's just war in general is bad, and that's my stance on it. I mean, it's the same thing with
it's true.
with Russia and Ukraine. I mean,
Yeah.
Russia fucked up, so did Hamas, but at the same time, I don't think in general like the U.S. should escalate anything. That's my biggest thing. I don't think we need to send U.S. soldiers over.
I think it got to a point where it was just like, okay, what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean,
just like,
the main thing is
I'm all for like helping people out and all.
Yes,
that,
humanitarian wise, that's fine.
It's
But
just war.
we don't need to put our soldiers in line.
Yeah, war is just sad.
The U.S. has been
everybody
involved.
at war.
No, definitely. I mean, the U.S. has been involved in too many past wars. We don't need to get our hands into something else, and we don't need to possibly escalate to a World War III, which at this point is probably the closest we've ever been because of all this.
And the scary thing is, I wouldn't say half, but probably a lot of people just doesn't care. Period. I wouldn't.
Oh, about the situation?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some people probably don't. It's sad. It is very. I have to admit, it was weird though seeing the pro-Palestine protests where it's basically become anti-Semitic and against Jews. That's
what I just told you before recorded, but
yeah, I mean it's that. I think that's the craziest thing where I'm seeing this stuff, and I mean, obviously I was not alive during World War II, but it's like you're seeing this stuff, and it's just all this anti-Semitism is just very weird to see, especially so publicly, and people be okay with it. It's like you're basically trying to literally focus on one populace and then say that they're doing all wrong and that they need to be eradicated. And it's just doesn't matter what it is. It's not a good thing to go with, but for some reason that's the thing. No matter what side, a lot of people are choosing, and it's crazy that it's happening around the world.
The way I look at it, I'm just like, literally nobody has a right answer. They have right point of views. No. Sometimes.
Yeah. I mean,
not really everybody has a right answer to everything. So.
Yeah. I mean, and also wars fought so differently nowadays. Like, you can't fight like it was 100 years ago. Like, it's not it's not going to be soldiers against soldiers. They're going to be just sneaking around. You're in cities. They're going to plant bombs. They're going to use distractions.
What scares me the most is you're going to piss somebody off like so bad. They're just a nuclear war can just pop out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many nuclear bombs out there.
I mean, basically during these conflicts, 4 or 5 major powers that all have nuclear capabilities.
Yeah. It's scary.
It is. I mean, we're the closest to nuclear holocaust than we've ever been.
I would say so.
And it's hard to realize because you still have to live day-to-day life, and things are moving on. But moving on, things are still moving. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's like this is a possibility, and it sucks that it is. I guess on other weird situations, Amazon is possibly making their own healthcare system. Amazon is offering Prime members a discount on their annual membership to join its primary health service, the company's latest push into healthcare. For years, Amazon has attempted to move into healthcare. Despite several failed attempts, it has developed Amazon Care, a telehealth service, and Amazon Pharmacy, an online prescription service. Last year, Amazon bought One Medical, a chain of primary care clinics and telehealth service. On Wednesday, Amazon announced it will be offering Amazon Prime members access to One Health service for $99 a year, less than $100 than its typical cost. That would be interesting. Amazon's definitely trying to get their fingers in everything, and they're already big enough. But like, it's whatever. I don't trust a lot of the healthcare system to begin with. I say that. I'm not saying it is a nut. But
Amazon though, that's kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, it is kind of
weird. Kind of weird. But you know what?
I mean,
hey, good for him.
I mean, I guess I'll get into this here in a minute, but it has to do with health. But Portuguese political crisis. Portugal's prime minister resigned amid sweeping corruption investigation. Portugal is Europe's biggest producer of lithium and core ingredient for electrical vehicle batteries. Portugal's government has awarded large contracts for companies to open lithium mines. It also separately approved other major construction projects. Police have launched a sweeping corruption probe over these contracts, which has implicated several of the Prime Minister's close associates. On Tuesday, in response to the police raid, the Prime Minister resigned, sparking a political crisis. So, Portugal is not doing too hot. That's no bueno.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, not at all.
That is not good.
What else is happening right now?
As we speak. Come on.
Oh, great. U.S. interest breaks $1 trillion. U.S. debt interest payments over the next year are projected to surpass $1 trillion for the first time. That's just an interest. Oh, great.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
The U.S. government has spent more than it made, run a deficit in all but 4 years since 1970. It funds still expands, and the U.S. issues debt with interest. The federal government spent $476 billion on interest payments in 2022 and 2023, which ended in September. The financial year, the government spent $659 billion in interest. On Tuesday, Bloomberg reported that the U.S. is now in pace to make over $1 trillion in debt interest payments in the coming year.
Gee.
We don't like that. What is this?
To get raised.
Yeah, that's
sky high.
Yeah, that's a big situation. Oh, global wine production falls. Global wine production fell to its lowest since 1961 due to climatic conditions. The International Organization of Vine and Wine. Oh, that's fancy. The OIV.
You've never heard of that?
No.
I've heard of it.
Oh, well, cool.
Cool. I don't care.
I don't drink a lot of wine. Announced that last year the top wine producing countries was Italy, followed by France, Spain, the U.S., and Australia. On Tuesday, the OIV announced the global production of this year is likely down 7% from last year due to poor weather worldwide. In Spain and Italy, yields are down 14 to 12%, respectively. Extreme temperatures, droughts, and early frosts and other climate conditions are responsible. France is now projected to overtake Italy as the top producer.
Interesting. Yeah.
I mean, I still feel like there's plenty of wine to go around.
Oh yeah, I think there really is, but it makes sense because the weather this year has just kind of been.
It's been very back and forth. It's been weird.
Just like last week here in Indiana, it was freaking nice out. It was like
but then it also got very cold.
A sweatshirt, and then I think
Friday it was a low of 30.
Yeah, this coming week is going to get colder, so it's just like.
Okay, we'll do one more of their main things, and then we'll move on to another subject. Elon launches a chatbot. Elon Musk has set up a release for a chatbot called Gronk, and it's part of XAI, so the Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Since last year, he has been assembling his own AI startup to compete with OpenAI and others. On Saturday, it released its first chatbot, Gronk, which is said modeled after the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and it has a bit of a wit and a rebellious streak. A day before its release, Musk posted a screenshot of it answering the question, "Tell me how to make cocaine step by step." XAI said the chatbot is still in early beta stage. It claims it may have an advantage over other bots because of its real-time access to Twitter or X.
Yeah, true.
That will be interesting if it takes in information off of Twitter.
That will
actually
cool,
boost it a
but
lot.
Also scary at the same time.
Well, because it'll be taking information like live, like nonstop. And I mean, Twitter's still going crazy daily, so it'll get a lot of information.
Honestly, it just like the stuff that Elon just comes up with is just like, I have an idea. Let's do this.
Oh yeah,
it's just like crazy to me.
Well, I mean, speaking of, he was on Rogan last week, and then he also said that he still wanted to fight Zuckerberg.
Oh really?
Yeah. Well, you knew about that, right?
When he named his child Elon, it was like I don't even know the whole thing, but it was like letters and numbers that he named his kid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like Joe asked him about that, so I saw that little video, and he is actually like the letters actually mean like a name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't remember.
Like Aaron or something.
I can't remember exactly
something
what it
like
is.
that, but
yeah, no, it does. I don't recall the full thing for it, but yeah, it does.
Remember.
But no, he came on last week, I think, and he tried to shoot the Cybertruck with his bow and arrow and stuff, and it was bow proof.
Oh, did you see when they threw like those big rocks at the Tesla?
Oh, that was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, I know, but I just now saw a little video, and like Joe asked him like, so what do you think happened actually?
Yeah.
When they used the hammer, he said they might have cracked like the little.
Yeah. No, he talked about it. Well, I think this just happened recently because they did talk about it on Rogan, and I think it already happened, but they did a presentation to show it's being bulletproof, and they tested a Tommy gun, I think a Glock, and something else.
Oh, really?
And I think it worked.
Wow.
But no, he was. So wait, where was I going? Oh, I don't even know actually. Elon was on. There's something about Twitter that.
Uh-oh.
It just stopped.
Your brain just shut off.
It just went. The Windows noise just shut it off. It was something to do with him on Rogan, but I don't know.
I don't know. I
either.
didn't watch it.
I don't know.
That's your fault, dude.
I know. I mean, I watch it all the time, but
yeah, I just don't listen to podcasts that much, honestly.
You should though. I mean,
I should, but it's just like I don't know.
Especially considering your job. I mean, you have plenty of opportunity.
I do. I very much do.
I could recommend at least 2 podcasts. I feel like everybody should.
I wonder what one
to.
it is.
What?
Joe Rogan.
Maybe. Just because it's quite a variety. Not only is it entertaining, but the topics, subjects, and people he has on is so crazy. I mean, like shit.
Dude,
Elon,
he's
like,
huge. Joe Rogan. Like,
I mean, literally, probably people have basically talked about it now. He's probably the most influential person in the world, like at this point.
Like just for podcasts, or
because of his podcast. I mean,
just
on a lot
like in general.
In general, like he's probably one of the most influential people in the world because of the reach he has, and it's so different than most public figures.
Like what's his like listeners? Do you know?
And this is being exclusive on Spotify, but I think every episode at least averages 13 million viewers. It's by far the largest podcast in the world.
I knew it was the largest.
That doesn't include the clips that end up on YouTube. Like I think the Elon Musk one they posted on X, and that alone had, which I don't know how they did that unless they ran it by Spotify. That video alone had 30 million views. Obviously, that doesn't mean everybody watched the whole thing, but yeah, like that's a lot.
Well, that's just right when you looked at it.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Probably.
I mean, honestly, I've been thinking about it for the podcast. I've been thinking about posting our stuff on there because you can post long form videos on Twitter now. Like it could eventually become a slight competitor with YouTube if they figure out how to use their change the algorithm and make it monetizable and make it where it's worthwhile for creators. So there was an idea that I possibly wanted to post like all the episodes on there eventually. I mean,
like on the episodes on.
Yeah. Because you can post long videos, and so you can post podcasts and stuff on there now. I mean, you used to not be able to, but they changed that.
I never
recently.
use actually Twitter.
Neither have I.
I've
honestly, I mean, technically we do have an account. I just I never really used it much.
Hey guys, we have an account, so
yeah, right. But no, so it is pretty interesting. I'll be curious to see how that all goes with them. I mean, it's like one of the things he did talk about was like he gets a lot of hate on X now, basically saying like, oh, he ruined Twitter, all these different things, and he's like, oh, it's so right winged, you don't see anything, like it's ruined, like all this stuff, because the amount of stuff that gets said, and he felt like, because he talked about it on Rogan, that he's like, I think, in all honesty, in a way that he almost saved humanity by purchasing it, because he allowed free speech for anything, and what he said prospectively did make a lot of sense.
Didn't Twitter like not let you say some stuff?
Oh yeah, they would ban stuff. They would shadow ban people a lot. They would not allow certain things to be posted
like whatever
about.
they liked and they didn't like, they would just ban.
Yeah, and some people would say it didn't happen, but that's might just because be how you look at it on the political spectrum. But the one thing he did talk about when he was on Rogan with that I guess I've never considered but makes a lot of sense is he's like, well, at the time before and by the time I purchased Twitter, he's like, in general, how the Twitter algorithm was, the things that were on Twitter was so left leaning that even what's changed in all reality, it's probably a very centrist view of people in general and the stuff that's allowed to be tweeted now and the stuff that people talk about. But because it's center probably of the aisle when it comes politically for the most part to anybody that's on the left, it seems so far right because in their perspective it did go right.
And then anybody on the right thinks it's on the left. So
yeah, I mean, yes. But at the same time, it's like now the things that you can talk about is so much more that you're more free. Like there's it's whatever. It's one reason why I like Elon. Like he's a very public figure with it. Oh, I remember what I wanted to talk about now with it. Him fighting Zuckerberg.
Oh.
He said on Rogan, he was like, I want to do it. He's like, I'd do it today. He's like, I'd go to his house.
Is that actually going to like happen in the Coliseum?
It would be one of the largest fighting events ever
in the Coliseum.
That was what they wanted to do. I know. Yes. I don't know if it would happen.
Because I heard him like, we've contacted them.
Italy said that they would sanction it and allow it to happen. That would be crazy if it did.
Like I would go to Italy just for that.
I don't know how they would do it necessarily, but Rogan did say, he's like, it might just be easier for you to do it like in the new dome in Vegas. He's like, that's like the new modern Coliseum.
I don't know though.
I mean, it doesn't have the historical value, but one of the reasons why like things were slowed with that possibly being a thing was because Elon was like, this is a very ancient building. I don't want to shroud it with a bunch of brand names and sponsors and all this stuff,
and just like everybody going there. And
he's like,
it could possibly just like collapse.
Well, I don't think people would sit there. I think they would just do it and then stream it. I don't think they would be able to do that. Okay, just because of that, because of what it is. But he's like, one, that would make it difficult, but two, he's like, I don't want to shroud the history of this thing and cover it with billboards and shit everywhere. And so it makes sense. It would be awesome, but it also makes sense, that reasoning behind it. It'd be interesting to see. I have to admit, Elon was, I think, very egocentric in thinking he could win. Because Mark does do jiu-jitsu. He's not bad. He's a small guy, but that doesn't mean he can't beat you. And basically, Elon's like, I got the best technique. And Rogan's like, what is that? He's like, the whale. I just lay on you.
Oh wait, I think I've heard about that.
I just won't let you move. And it's like, well, yeah. I mean, you got a point there. Like, if someone super heavy is on top of you, it's gonna make it a challenge for you to do anything. Yeah, but doesn't mean someone that's not good at jiu-jitsu can't get out of it and do something.
If he gets out of it, then
you're in trouble. Yeah, you're in trouble. And so it was an interesting conversation, but if it ever does happen, it will be super entertaining to see.
That would be fun.
But all right, so I guess another topic. I guess should we tell them kind of what we've talked about off camera about the podcast and what we want to do?
What do you mean? About the camera angles?
Because
we kind of did talk about that.
I mean, yeah, I guess we kind of did. Yeah. I guess give them a better timeline.
Okay. I mean, what are you thinking?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's go. So, obviously we've mentioned doing some changes. I finally got a new phone. So that means we're a step closer to this being a reality. We want to change this podcast, hopefully here in the next 2-3 weeks, depending, to a multi-cam podcast. Basically meaning, instead of just one static frame, we want to have a frame on myself, him, both of us, guests, possibly if we have them on, and have it set up where it makes it a little more enticing for you guys, where it's not just one frame the whole time. It's more cut up. It looks a little better. But not only that, like things that we talked about doing is obviously reviving the Clips channel and posting smaller videos and stuff. on there, and then eventually possibly doing live streams.
Yep.
And in general, just having guests on. That's something we've talked about.
That would be so fun.
So
actually.
eventually we will make this, I think, a little more structured the more we get into it, especially working with one another and getting things set up. Because I have to admit, I feel like before you were here, in general, I think slightly this year. I mean, I think the beginning of the year is fine, but around July, mid of the year, I feel like I definitely dropped the ball on you guys, and that's my bad if you did listen. Just in the sense of like having more of a structure, and I kind of fell out of that, where it was like, and this is something we kind of plan on hopefully reviving, is basically having like every other episode being a little more relaxed, something more similar to this, where it's just kind of us talking about things that are going on, things that are happening around the world, news, major things that are just going and stuff like that. And then maybe having the next episode be more topic based on a specific subject or information or that kind of thing. And then not only that, but possibly having maybe one episode a month where we have a guest on, where it's not just us. Maybe we have Freddie on, or some of the guys you haven't seen, or whatever. So there's a few things we want to hopefully try implementing here in probably the next month. So I think it will definitely change a lot of this, let alone obviously possibly basically rebranding around the start of the year. So there's a few things we need to work on, but those are just a few updates. One of the last things I forgot to mention, I should have done this earlier. I'm doing a fundraiser.
Oh.
Yeah. You're like, oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
So I will have the link in the description here. It was talked about on the live stream, but at the very end, so most people probably did not witness it. I did this last year. If you guys have watched for a while, if you don't know and you're new, I did it basically through the month of November. It was Giving for Thanksgiving. This year it is Giving Through the Holidays. That's the name of the fundraiser. And up until the end of the year, I'm trying to raise hopefully $2,000 to raise money for charity water. I have a full episode on.
Is there a link in the live stream?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. I was gonna go to it.
Yeah. So I'll have it in the description here today. But no. So basically, I'm trying to raise $2,000 for charity water. It's a great cause. It's a great company. I've donated to them personally for probably pushing 3 or 4 years now. I did a fundraiser last year. Was able to raise what was it, $1,015. My goal is to hit 2,000 this year. So basically, every dollar helps. But the main reason why I chose this charity and I've donated to them for so long is because 100% of their donations go straight to helping people. It doesn't go to possibly paying people's salaries and other things. They find another way to basically supplement that money. And that's one reason why I like them, because most people don't trust charities because of that fact. They don't know how much of the money they're donating is actually going to go towards the cause they feel like they're donating towards. But it's a really cool cause. If you guys do want to donate, the link will be in the description. Whatever you donate helps. Every dollar helps. But basically, if you donate $40, that's roughly the value to bring one person clean water for the rest of their life. So if you guys do want to donate, please go do so.
And water's great. Everybody wants water.
It is.
It is. That actually reminds me. Did you see the Mr. Beast?
I was gonna see if the book was in here. It's not in here. Okay.
Did you see what Mr. Beast just put?
Yeah, that the building 100 wells in Africa.
Africa.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
No, it's awesome. It's really cool. That's one reason why I was attracted to this charity, because it's something I didn't know about. I mean, I did and didn't. Like it was just sadly almost like blissfully unaware growing up in the United States. It's like something you know of but don't think about, and then also think about the consequences of not having clean water.
But it's just, we are just so spoiled, really, in America.
We are in a lot of ways. Yeah, I mean, like Rogan even said, like some people say like, oh, our generation has it the roughest, and it's like, no, not really. Like, not even where we live.
We never know, but
yeah, it's just very terrible to say that. I mean, I think in general every generation thinks that in some way because it's so different from the last, and it's so complicated because of so many different scenarios. But it's like, I'm not having to go build a log cabin because that's where the hell I'm living.
Right.
I'm not having to go hunt all the time to be able to survive.
Yeah.
I do have clean water. I have electricity.
Yep.
So like
Walmart.
things are harder in different ways.
Yeah.
I feel like, and there's more challenges that come up, and that it's not as easy as just say it's harder, because it's not. It's like, to survive, life is so much easier.
Oh,
It might be more
100%.
complicated in so many different
Yeah,
ways, but that's about all it is.
In different ways, yeah.
And
100%.
no, like, yeah, when I was finding out about charity water, like, I never realized the impact it might have on, I mean, health, education, the economy, like
Yeah.
in those areas. Something I don't think I would have realized it has such a major impact on those places, and that's why I got into it. So if you guys do want to, please go donate, and I appreciate it. We'll probably bring it up here over the next month or two as we get closer, and hopefully get closer to the goal or hit it.
Yep. When is it? New Year's?
Basically, yeah, New Year's Eve I think is the last day. Basically, the last day of the year.
There you go.
Not only that, did you see Prime has finally sold over $1 billion?
Yep.
Prime has sold 1 billion bottles of Prime
Mhm.
hydration, which isn't super surprising, but it's still a crazy astonishment within what, 2 years? Less than 2 years?
Yeah, it's crazy because, I mean, billion, like just the word billion, might not seem that crazy.
Oh,
The difference
insane.
from a million to a billion,
Yeah,
is just absurd.
I mean, it's crazy to think that
crazy.
they sold almost 10 million bottles before the company was necessarily announced.
Right, yeah.
Which is insane for a company to do.
Dude, they're
But then, let
booming.
alone now, yeah, they've
booming.
crossed over 1 billion, which is insane.
I remember still like trying to go to like
and find it.
and
when it
find
first
it,
came out.
but now I can.
It's
You
so
look
many
to your
places.
left, it's right there.
I mean, and not only that, but did you know about their challenge that they're doing now? They have a $500,000 worth solid gold bottle.
Yep. And it's like a little cold. You have to put in.
Yes. So basically, there's 2 locations. I think it's over by now. I think it is over because it was only for like 48 hours. So
It's like, yeah, what was the 2 locations?
it's
One was,
London
like,
and New York.
New York and London.
And everybody basically gets a free guess, and you guess the 6-digit like number, and if you get it correct, you get the bottle, and it opens, and you get
Did
a
anybody get it? Do you know?
$500,000 bottle of Prime. I don't know. I really don't know. You might be able to look. I don't think so, as far as I'm aware. I saw JJ mention something earlier, and at the time, no one had won it in London. But basically, is after the timer is set, Mark Rober designed the device and case that these sit in, and when the timer is run up, those bottles get melted down
I'm trying to find it.
and destroyed.
I kind of found it, but I don't know if there's a winner.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. It might still be going on. I honestly don't know when it's over.
I mean, this was 2 days ago, so
It was
there's
probably
not-
when they announced it and they started
this
it.
is just 2 days ago, so there's not really.
Yeah, we might know by the end of next week, but I doubt it because 6 numbers is a lot, and the amount
How do they
of
know? I
variables.
wonder. Like,
I mean, it's just random.
One person, no, like one person each. Do like get their social security numbers or something, or like what?
What do you mean?
Like, how would they like tell? So like
Like
one
it's in
day,
a building, like that they
Like, in one
basically
day-
get like to come in. You try.
I know,
Done.
but I bet there's hundreds of people going in. a
They
day.
probably have you sign up or something.
something like that.
Yeah,
but,
I mean,
like,
there's people there
what
the
if
whole
somebody
time.
just changes their name?
Mm-mm.
There has to
I
be
don't know
some
how they do it.
Some sort of
It'd be interesting.
yeah.
I wasn't gonna go to New York to do it by any means.
This page you are looking for cannot be found. Okay.
Wow.
And that was to go to the rules, so maybe it's gone. I don't know.
It might be done. It might be over.
Yeah.
Well, before we do end this podcast, 2 things left that I wanted to bring up.
Not 3 things, just 2.
Well, I mean, one we honestly probably don't even got to talk about, but I was going to bring it up. The new Modern Warfare 3 is out.
Oh. Yes, sir.
It is. I don't know if you've played it. It's
haven't
it's
played
an interesting game. I haven't played the campaign. I know a lot of people dislike it. I played multiplayer.
Oh, really?
Played zombies.
I've heard like some good things about the.
I think people thought it was too short.
Oh, I mean,
As a campaign,
maybe. I feel like a lot of campaigns are kind of short, to be honest.
they can be for sure. But as someone that doesn't play campaign, I really don't care. But I did hear that some people said that probably the last 2 Modern Warfares were some of the best COD campaigns in
Yeah.
probably
Mhm.
a long time. So I think that's one reason why people were so disappointed with it.
Maybe.
Was I think they had high expectations.
I kind of feel like they rushed this one just slightly.
I mean, I wouldn't say there's any major changes. I still like it. It is different. They did change some game modes, and it's still very early. Like, there's still probably a lot that's going to be added within the next 6 months. So,
Oh yeah. 100%.
it'll be interesting to see what changes, what gets added, like, and everything. But I mean, it's fun. I mean, it's COD. It's fun. I don't play video games a lot, but when I do play, it's a good pastime. It's a good time. But then not only that, something that I feel like means a lot to me might not mean anything to you, but I'm gonna bring it up because I don't care. This is our podcast, and I can talk about whatever the hell I want. Okay.
Okay, calm down.
What?
Bam.
Yeah. All right, you ready?
Shoot. I don't know.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, I don't care.
Did you even watch it as a kid?
I actually did. I
Okay.
did.
Okay.
Like the cartoons.
Yeah,
kinda.
yeah,
Dude,
the
I
original.
actually love that.
Well, I talked about this when I was all alone, and I probably look like a sad nerd talking about this originally.
You still do.
Thanks. But anyways, so you know what it is. Did you know that they're making a live action TV show?
Yes, I've heard of it. Yep.
Okay. Well,
heard of that.
They released the first official look of the show. They released the first teaser trailer this week. They released the teaser
I'm looking
trailer.
this up once we're done.
Yeah. It's not very long. It's like a minute and a half. It's the first teaser trailer of the live action. It does come out next year.
Okay.
I honestly, it's coming out earlier than I thought. It didn't initially think it was going to come out until
I was thinking like 3 years at least, but
yeah, no. Well, see, I think initially it could have and should have come out over a year ago, but because of COVID, it delayed a lot of things. Because I think they started on the writing and even filming possibly in 2019, 2020. So a lot of things got delayed, obviously, because of the COVID. So it releases February 22nd. I didn't think it was going to be until like at least next summer.
February 22nd.
Yeah, so it's only a handful of months away.
Okay.
It looks really cool. Some people think, and this is just me speculating because I think I have a biased opinion, but I mean I think there's a good chance that this could be almost comparable to Game of Thrones. Honestly,
Never watched it yet.
I mean this is not going to be as kiddish. It's going to be a lot more dramatic, action, more violent. The CGI is amazing. It looks fantastic.
Sweet.
It's going to be like a 45-minute to an hour-long episodes. So it's going to be a similar bias of I guess Game of Thrones in that sense. And because it's on Netflix, it's on a platform that so many people have.
Okay.
And it just everything with it, there's a big chance that this ends up being one of the number one TV shows for a while.
Oh,
because especially with already having such a cult following when it comes to
I feel like Netflix
the base.
actually they do so well with
They do.
TV shows.
I mean their adaptation for what was it, One Punch that came out or whatever. A lot of people like that, and I'm not much of an anime guy, and people were worried about it, but they're like, oh, they actually did a good job with it. So I think like something like Avatar, it has such a big fan base, basically from ages even kids today to people my age and older. Yeah. That between that and then because it might bring so many more people in because it being live action, it could be a very, very large show.
I'm excited.
I'm curious to see how it turns out, but I did want to talk about that. If you wanted, I mean, we could try it. I could play it on here, and we could record it, and you could react to it live if you want to.
Like right now?
We could do that.
Do you want to?
We could.
Like right now?
Yeah, like right now.
Let's do it.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
We're both going to be looking at the ground for
That's
a
fine. We don't have any other way to do this. Okay. So, you ready?
I'm waiting.
All right, let's do this thing.
Time is a funny thing.
Are you going to be staring at me the entire time?
No.
The past. The future. It all gets mixed up. There's only one way You keep it straight.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks so dope.
Always remember who you are. I remember that saying.
The kid looks like directly from it too. Oh my god. Or maybe guy, I don't know how old he is. Oh my goodness. What the fuck?
Boom.
February 22nd. That is insane. That just like came out of nowhere.
Is it bad to admit I have goosebumps?
I was gonna say I'm not gay, but you want to have a date on February 22nd?
Bro, 100% we're watching that. Dude, I am clearing my calendar that entire day for when that comes out. I don't care. I'm not going to work, okay? I will sit here and wait on Netflix to upload it.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I found out about this almost a year ago initially. And I was like, are you serious? They're doing this?
I remember you talking about it.
And I'm like, this will be so good. Like, I'm so excited.
That looks amazing.
Because I still love it. Like, part of it is nostalgia. But honestly, to me, and people that's never seen it won't get it. But to me, honestly, it's probably one of the best TV shows out there. Like, just because of what it is. Like,
a lot of people will probably say it's kiddish.
It is. It is. It is. I'm not denying that.
I would 100% go back and watch it right now.
And some episodes are definitely like unneeded and definitely a lot more like childish than others. But the overall story and the art style and the background of the universe that the writers made is what kind of fascinates me. And it's similar to that when it comes to Game of Thrones. It's similar to that with Harry Potter, with Avatar. When someone is able to create a whole universe from their mind and be able to make something so elaborate in a history. They build their own history behind their story. That's what brings me in so much. And that's why, like, that show, even though it's still a kid show, I'll rewatch it and I love it.
100%.
It's amazing.
Yes.
So that's one reason why I'm so excited for this.
Actually, technically come out. This show.
Like, dude, it started in like 2004.
Was
like,
it 2004?
4 or 5.
I remember when I'm like 9.
Yeah,
and
it is so badass. I love it. Like,
I don't even think I got through it all.
And the imagination for me is that as a kid, it made it soar. Like, I can't tell you the amount of games I had in my own head where I was like imagining myself as a child, imagining being the Avatar and being able to control the elements and be like, like look at that. Fucking, like. So to see this come into light and then actually see it where like maybe people besides someone that grew up with it knows the show and likes it also makes it so cool, because it's like most people might be like, oh, that kid show, like whatever. But it's like after this comes out, honestly, probably most people won't even know. Most people won't know about the original 100%. They might.
Yeah, honestly,
but especially older people, but they'll be like, oh yeah, that show was good. I was like, okay, see? Perfect. And at one point, I'm fine if this is as good, if not better than the original. I'm okay with it.
Oh, dude, it's been like over a decade.
Almost 2.
Yeah.
Almost 2 decades possibly. What do you think? I think it looks awesome.
No, that looks amazing.
And if anybody watched the live action movie, the movie was terrible. Did you ever watch it?
Kinda.
Like,
because we kind of watched it. You just showed me the trailer.
Oh, yeah, I did.
But you actually watched it and you...
I didn't like it. And that's me being a big fan. Like, where my dad was like, I thought it was good. And I was like, yeah, the storyline was fine. It was very similar to the show. Like, that wasn't hard. But also when you have a show that's based on basically Asian cultures, and you have like one Asian actor in the original movie, it's like that takes a lot away from it. And then not only that, but like the CGI was okay in the original, but like I think the biggest thing that was so cringy to watch for me personally in the show or in the movie was like how they did the bending in particular. Because like in the show, it's so good. And like, I don't know if you know this, but the actual writers of Avatar brought in a martial arts expert to break down different martial arts. And that's why each bending style is different, is a different type of martial art.
That's amazing.
To make it build into the atmosphere of the show. And so like firebending is different from waterbending because it's a different martial art. That's why it looks and feels so different. It's more aggressive, it's forceful, it's all these different things. Like the stance behind it. Same with airbending, you're more light, loose on the feet. Like they designed it around real world history.
I hope they do that.
But in the movie though, if you've seen it, which you haven't,
same.
They did the original movie where it's like basically
I didn't like the fighting in the trailer.
they did fighting and then it like was almost a delayed reaction and then something happened and you're like, what? We're like this, it's supposed to be more like free flowing where it just is a part of you. It's like an extension of your body.
Yeah.
Where like in the original movie, it was not that at all.
So
I think that alone will be so good.
Yeah, I feel like the fighting in the movie just from the trailer.
It's very cheesy. It was very cheesy.
Just easy to tell like it was staged.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't know how they could record some of it because it seems so kind of ridiculous. Because at least in this, like they actually trained, like they 100% trained these kids in these martial art forms to be able to do this stuff. Like the kid that's playing it, 12 years old. He's the same age as Ung when they originally
exactly
recorded.
like him.
Oh yeah, it looks amazing. And so just
imagine like getting that call or something like, "Hey, we need to shave your head."
It's probably a bald cap.
Maybe
Either that or they shaved it. It's one or the other. But it'll just be interesting to see because I don't know if you know this, but I think this is actually also one of the most heavily funded TV shows Netflix has ever produced. It's tens and tens of millions per episode. Like it will be good because they don't want it to be a failure.
That'll be huge. Yeah.
So I'm very excited to, especially now that this was here and everything that they actually have this. Like I don't know if you realize what that first scene is. That's when they first attack the air temples in the original war, the original Sozin's Comet, when they first attacked the air nomads.
I'm trying to remember. It's been a while, so
basically before the show actually begins. Like this is when the 100-Year War started. That's what that was from.
Yeah, I might have to go back now.
You might have to just to refresh and then see what they do with the show.
I haven't watched it over like.
Is it bad to say that I have?
It's been probably over 8 years.
Oh yeah, then you got to rewatch.
Yeah. Wait, when did you watch them? When this came out?
This year. 3 years ago.
Damn.
That was mainly it. Because the thing is, I initially watched it when it was on TV. That was about it. But then I bought it, and so then
have it here?
So I have the DVDs. So then I watched it then, and then I have Netflix and it's on Netflix. And I rewatched it on Netflix. But it's good. It is good. I had to nerd out a bit, I have to admit, but it's something for me. It's both nostalgia and it's something I really, really, really like. Even like Game of Thrones, but yeah, I hope it's good. I really do.
I mean, hope you like it. You was in the corner just jumping over there.
Yeah.
Like, ooh.
Yeah. I let's just say I hope that when it comes out, we have fans that like it too, so we can talk about it.
Yeah.
I said fans. We don't have fans, but we have
we have
viewers.
Hey.
It might be us. Be like, I love this podcast.
That's
or my mom.
Whoa.
But no, I just wanted to do that last rant before we ended this episode. I'm sorry if anybody left because they're like, fuck these guys. Nerds. But hey.
I hate that show.
But I love that show, so you guys can suck it. I don't care.
Oh.
I just told our viewers that they suck, but it's all right. Just go watch the show. If you guys watch it, you'll understand why we like it so much.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, I think that'll do it for us for this week. I think we had a good episode. Thank you for recording with me.
We never handshake this.
I don't know why, but
they're going to dab me up for a second. Then you went for the full-on handshake.
Yeah, I was like, nice to meet you, sir. Nice to meet you. All right.
Really cold hands.
I don't know why, but all right. Well, we'll see you guys on the next episode and next live stream, whatever happens. There's a lot to happen in the next couple months. So stay tuned. We'll see you guys all later.
Peace.
Peace out.